where we are with the SEC 4 Hours of Suzuka Part 2. I'll be your streamer again, Ponyboy. And we have just got away here. It did take me a little longer than expected. Sorry about that, but I was getting the wrong liveries and stuff, so I had to enter and leave and re-enter the room. And now we have the correct liveries, etc. We're just waiting for the order to sort itself out. But it should be Speedy in the lead, but it doesn't appear to be. It does appear to be Rizlan for the Sota boys. Let's hope that wasn't a handover issue and it has occurred on track. Doesn't seem much between these guys, just a couple of seconds. We'll have to see where some of the others has come out. It takes another lap or so for the gaps. To sort themselves out a majority of the time. We'll be a little bit more chatty once we get everything into order. Well, so we have got the Welsh Great at the top. He should currently be in third. And we've got JP who's took over from Splurge. Turn 1, guys. They will be running down in about 8th and 9th. Well, might have even been lower than that, I think. And there's the KO, look. He's pretty great, or so he says. So let's see how great he can be today in the McLaren. The nuke shot, guys. Have good fun streaming with him last time out. As things do start to sort themselves out and we do start to see some kind of order, it's still not entirely correct. We have Jaeger who's took over from Upe. For the Speed Hunters. Let me just copy this link and get it where it needs to be. We do start to see things sorting themselves out now. Welsh Great in third. Now it's taken over from King, 19 seconds behind Speedy now. He's currently 1.8 behind Rizlan. And we have Geronimo who's took over from Randy Moore for the GTSV boys. Good afternoon, UPay. Great first stint, mate. Good recovery after the lap 1 incident. We didn't actually catch entirely what happened there, but we did see an off, and everything was grouped rather closely together. So, but great recovery drive, mate. Great finish to close yourself to within, what was it, 4 seconds of the race asylum, boys. Trying to move currently 42 seconds behind Welshie. He's 21 seconds behind Speedy at the moment. But Speedy closing that gap down to Rizlan in front of him, 1.2 seconds for the lead. We will have a look at what tyres and that these guys are on in a minute, but not just yet. Let's get everything settled down and see where we are. Running 2 minutes dead at the moment. Speedy running 159s for the Scotch Egg boys. Welshie will be quite happy to have that gap behind him though. There's a 201 last time round, but he has dropped back into the 159s this time. And running move in the same time bracket, the 2 minute deads. I'm looking pretty consistent. I'm going to presume all this lot are on mediums, then we'll have top gear for the RTR boys. But Mr. T and his tyres for breakfast, dinner and lunch, closing that gap down. 2 minutes dead and a 159 on lap 2 for Mr. T. As I say that, the gap creeps up slightly. It's just over 10 seconds, but he has got 7.5 seconds between himself and Jaeger for the Speed Hunters. So he's made up a couple of seconds since the changeover. Because UPay did have that gap down to under 5 seconds on a personal best at the moment, Jaeger, as the fuel load lightens. And we have Walter for the GRT Juniors in the Beetle. The Juniors have had a good second stint there, up to 8th. Creasy doing a good job because Gemini has dropped down to 10th. And currently we have Walter, who has the fastest lap with a 159.2 in the Beetle. Let's not forget DCT Incredible. That's actually Incredibile. He has a 6 second gap between himself and Gemini. With the DCT team. Then we have JP. Taking over from Splurge in P11. A lot to do in front of him. 21 seconds between himself and Gemini. And then we have Johnny Waffle, who will run at his own pace and probably make his way up through the order doing so. But he has got 44 seconds in front and 49 behind. And I'll tell you, if he doesn't make up any places, the gap will be very similar to what it is now. Mr. Consistent himself. Not consistently fast, not consistently slow, just consistently consistent. Well done, Johnny. And then we have Zakayo, who will be trying to chip some time out of Mr. Waffle. And then last but not least, the Raptor Race guys getting back on track with Raptor Race himself. Looking a lot less laggy. And we do have Mr. Nick just join the room. I think I will invite him to the party and see if he wants to join. I'm sure he'll be along at some point. Sorry for the crappy screen stuff. So we have invited Nick to the party. Oh, and he's joined already. Speedy Nick there, Speedy on track, and Speedy enjoying parties. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing, Richard?
I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. Good first stint there, very enjoyable to watch, and battles all the way to the end as we just see Rizlan having a moment.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that's him off. Whew, that was hard work. That was.
That was you commentators cursed instantly on your rival.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Not sure what happened there. Because they were 5 seconds behind coming into the pits, and then suddenly they were three seconds ahead. So, I guess that's now sorted itself out.
Well, there may be a look into that changeover, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is harder to do when you've only got the one stream on the go at the time.
Definitely.
But we do have Speedy in the front now by 5.7 seconds in front of Rizlan. But where's the Welsh Great gone? He's just dropped back as well. So he's in the wall somewhere because we can't see him.
Yep,
I'm hoping that's not a disconnect. Let's change view. No, it's not.
He's
There's something not right though, is there?
Yeah, definitely not right.
Can we see any inputs here? Let's get all the info on, shall we? He's got no throttle, has he? Brakes there.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, that's a shame because they were doing really well there.
Oh, maybe he's got it going again. Oh, no, definitely some issues there. Oh, unlucky for Welsh.
That's a big shame for them. They were doing really well. Pedro was really, LTM Kings was really pushing me.
Yeah, it was a great first stint. He was making them tyres last wonderfully as well.
The tyre whisperer himself.
Oh, that is terrible, but who won't be complaining is Geronimo for the GTSV boys, as it does put them back on the podium. With 15 seconds between himself and Top Gear for the Ready to Race boys. Randy Moore saying that perhaps Rizlan didn't change tyres at the stop, and I'm presuming Speedy would have, and he says that saves you about 3 to 4 seconds, which would work out kind of perfect.
That's a good point, yeah.
So thank you for that, Randy, and good first stint, mate. I know you had a couple of moments, a couple of rotations, not rotatos, rotations.
Suzuka's a very difficult track to keep on track at all times. Turn 1 and Spoon are definitely killers.
Yes, very technical, very hard on your tyres, and very hard mentally as well. And these guys with nearly 2 hours in front of them of this still.
Oh, and I think that's Welsh Great out of the race. I think he's just quit.
Oh no, Welshie, really sorry to see that, mate. I'd like to have seen how you would have performed around here. We know you have some good pace. As a KO at the moment in 12th for the Nuke Shot boys is 50 seconds, 7 seconds behind Johnny Waffle now. Johnny Waffle pulling away. As a KO struggling today. Whether this track not suiting the McLaren, I would have thought the McLaren would be okay around here.
I think it's just turn 1 and the hairpin that it really struggles at, with it being an MR car.
Yes, the hairpin will be a hairy moment every lap, I'm sure. Definitely. And turn 1 seems to be in the death of a few racers today. JP in 10th, 25 seconds behind Gemini, who is starting to close the gap between himself and Incredible, who in turn is only 1.4 seconds behind Walter. Walter still with the fastest lap this stint, the 1:59.2. I'm sure we'll see that lap time disappear after the first amount of pit stops though, and Walter has got damage, front aero and front suspension.
Yeah, that's definitely going to cost them a couple of seconds per lap with that.
Yes, has it been a moment with another car or just a barrier? Everyone around him seems to be okay. Jaeger clearing off into the distance now, 53 seconds in front and 5.9 seconds behind Mr. T. And Mr. T, yeah, he's on his usual tricks of eating tyres though, their medium's half gone.
some livery, that though. It's very nice.
Yes, we do like that pop art livery. It's different every week as well. There's always changes, isn't
Something
there?
new about it every single time, yeah.
I think that one's
Some
completely
serious
different to
skills,
the
that.
original one. But yes, definitely got a nice, unique, creative livery maker. I presume is it Mr. T that does them? I think it is, because I remember seeing
I believe so, yeah.
Kiss stickers on the one he done the other day.
Anyway.
I'm actually looking all over it, see if I can see the Kiss bits, but I reckon it's on a different car. Top Gear 15 seconds behind Geronimo and 11.5 in front of Mr. T. So he's got a nice bit of breathing room in front and behind, and his tyre's very similar to Mr. T's, to be honest. And Mr. T being a bit softer this week. Rizlan 58 seconds up the road from Geronimo. Nearly a minute between second and third. And Speedy now is 7 seconds. And while she apologising, don't apologise, mate. We could see something definitely wasn't working. Totally out of your hands. Well, it was in your hands, but broken.
It's a big shame that, because you were doing really well. LTM Kings, did you a solid to start there?
Yeah, an amazing first stint. But again, the Sota boys done an excellent first stint as well, because they looked well out of it for a while after that spin.
Yeah, that last stint on the softs, he came back at us like a bat out of hell. It was quite interesting to see it coming down so quick.
It's like 20 seconds he took out of you.
Yeah, it was very quick. He got down to about 3 seconds away, and then it looked like his tyres had just given up by that point, and just eked away a little bit, sort of 5 seconds at the swap. But that's some going 17 seconds in one stint. That's some serious pace.
And King's tyres were still better than yours at the time as well, but he was struggling to get the power down. And we watched you pull away at that point. He had a couple of moments, and I think he thought better of it and just ease off rather than kill himself.
Yeah, it looked like he had a phone call or something like that that put him off, and that's why I ended up on his inside and got past him. Otherwise, I literally didn't have enough to get past him. Otherwise, he was just quick enough to make it impossible to overtake. And Suzuka's not the easiest to overtake either.
No, you've got about
a small pace difference.
Yeah, there's about 2 places you can overtake here that, and even they're risky, the hairpin. But then obviously you're on the inside with the risk of loss of traction, which we have seen today once. And you see many people go alongside in 130R, and that's always frightening.
Definitely, yeah, that's not a place for going side by side.
No, there isn't rumours once you hit that apex, that track's quite narrow. Right, so it's all starting to spread out a little bit now, unfortunately. But where was there was a little bit of action further back, wasn't there? Was it Gemini? He's 1.2 seconds behind Incredible. At the moment, that seems to be about the closest battle on track. There is a little grouping further back.
Gemini is on softs though, and he's not going to have many more laps before he needs pit though.
I'm just looking where that other battle is. It is... Yeah, it's JP and Walter. They're 1.4 seconds between them. After Walter's stopped and he's on fresh mediums. What's JP on? He's on worn mediums. So the turn 1 and the GRT Junior boys battling out for 9th and 10th. And Geronimo just lapping them. Is Suzuka making any inroads into Johnny Waffle? No, that McLaren just proving too much of a handful round here, I think. And them softs nearly gone already. That's 10 laps. Well, it'd be 9 in total.
Pretty heavy on tyre wear today.
Yeah, because it's fairly even. The lefts and rights are pretty evenly worn, so just that car not liking this track, I think, and hunting for traction. We have 8 seconds.
Just seen Speedy lap Jaeger there, so that's just 5 cars left the lap if he gets that far.
Yeah, not far at all. I'm pretty sure he will. He's looking nice and consistent, Speedy. And 1:59s in 2 minutes every lap. Gap slowly growing up to 8.6 seconds now in front of Rislan. And Rislan does have a nice gap behind him at 57.7 seconds, and that is slightly growing as well. Geronimo ekes a little bit more out between himself and Top Gear.
Pits here. New set of softs.
That should help him start to inch forward. That's putting Credible up to 7th now. But he has got 35 seconds between himself and Jaeger, which is a lot to make up. And Jaeger just he's still hanging on to the back of Speedy there. And getting a little bit of a toe round.
Probably not a bad thing, but he is on fresh soft, so this is not ideal really for him.
Well, I don't think Speedy's really holding him up. But we will see. He's got just enough of a gap now, I think, Speedy, not to interfere. So that will be ideal for Jaeger. Let's see if he can make any inroads into Mr. T. There we go, we'll be out for another couple of laps, I think. You reckon about 2-3 laps on them at best?
Yeah, I would say so, something like that, yeah. Once they get to about 40% left on the tyres, the pace in them just falls away very quickly.
Yeah, you start to see a second a lap drop off almost instantly, and then the last couple of laps another second.
Definitely, yeah.
But he is bringing that gap down to Top Gear a little bit now. Because Top Gear's tyre's pretty worn also. And very similar lap times, both of these guys running in the 2 minutes.
Very similar on tyre wear as well. Looks like Top Gear is struggling with the Supra. Is a little bit of an understeery little thing at the moment.
Yeah, it does still seem to have good straight line speed, and good corner exit, but getting it turned in, not as easy as it was. And Geronimo, again, exactly the same lap times as the guys around him, 2 minutes dead. So the gap's neither growing or shrinking, really. In amongst a bit of traffic at the moment, with Raptor Race and Walter. And the gap at the front opens up to 9.2 seconds now.
Yep, and Jaeger is still right up the backside of Speedy.
Randy Moore's seen a gap in the lobby and jumped in. Why not? Might be able to give his teammate a bit of advice.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not as much of an interference as long as people don't join track. When people join tracking places where you can and leave, it can cause interference for the drivers. But just viewing doesn't seem to have an impact. Raptor Race and Walter going round together at the minute, nose to tail, and not racing each other really. And Raptor Race nearly over 5 minutes behind the leaders. But this is still all good practice for them. And endurance racing isn't easy.
It certainly isn't. All that concentration, especially 2 hours.
Yeah, and 2 hours not having a piss, that's one of the biggest problems I have. Sorry for the language, folks.
I had a coffee just before this and thinking, will this be a bad idea in a minute?
Yeah, I don't open any drinks until I've actually sat down, then it's just purely race hydration. But that's an age thing. Johnny Waffle, that gap growing between himself and Zakeo, now 1 minute and 3 seconds, and the gap coming down in front. He's took 7 seconds at least out of JP. Gap down to 40 seconds. And then we have a few smaller gaps, 5 seconds between JP and Walter, and 5.1 between Walter and Gemini for the GRT boys and the GRT juniors. And we have Incredible off.
Oh, he's got some suspension and front bumper damage here as well.
Yes, Degner finally catching somebody out. I'm amazed there hasn't been an incident there earlier on today. And he's nearly off again there. Just catching it. This will be good news for Gemini behind. That damage will slow him down at least a second or plus a lap, I would have said, with suspension.
And we've got Jaeger unlapping himself from Speedy here. That extra pace on the softs, obviously coming in handy here.
Yeah, and Speedy not protesting, thinking he's got the pace on. Maybe I'll just be able to sit behind him and save some tyre and fuel.
That's a smart move by Speedy. There's no point holding him up.
Absolutely not, but you also know in Jaeger's position, you're also like, do I overtake the leader? But yeah, he knows he's got the pace, and thought, why not?
And he doesn't do an Esteban Ocon on Max Verstappen.
No, absolutely not, but he is almost half a second purple at the moment at the first split.
He's absolutely ripping away from Speedy here.
But the gap between Jaeger and Mr. T is 22.5 seconds currently. Let's see what we'll stay with Jaeger at the moment and see what he does do this lap. Then we'll have a look at Mr. T, because we know he was in mid to high 2 minutes at the time. He was 2:01s now, nearly at 2:02 last time round. I think he will be in at the end of this lap.
We've got Top Gear stuck behind JP, and that's bringing the gap down between Mr. T and Top Gear right now.
Yes, down to single figures now.
And Top Gear is coming in.
Now, will Mr. T follow? I would have thought he would, because them tyres looking pretty useless.
No, he's going around again.
Obviously has a perfect strategy in mind, as Gemini takes the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:58.4. But let's have a look what Jaeger does as he comes through the Casio triangle. And he does go top with a 1:58.3.
And Jaeger's right behind him, right behind Top Gear.
Yes, that gap coming down very quickly as Top Gear comes out of the pits. And obviously Jaeger has already stopped, so this is kind of neutralised. Especially as Top Gear has come out on the softs.
Now we'll see who has got the extra pace here, now with the same tyres.
And Mr. T only 17.5 seconds after the pit stop. So with the pits, that's going to put him a fair few seconds behind Top Gear, I would have thought. Saying that, it's only just over a 20-second stop, isn't it? If you're not putting that much fuel in it, it's a pretty quick stop here. And there we see Jaeger in the background. I would expect to see the gap come down out of the hairpin with the AMG torque, but it was a good exit by the Supra there.
Definitely just got Johnny Waffle in the middle of them two at the moment.
Can Jaeger use the draft from Johnny Waffle to capitalise? Get a little bit of a toe. Round the back stretch possibly. See how much you can close on him through spoon. He's going to be close enough, I think, to get a bit of a toe through here. Johnny Waffle getting out of the way, probably too quick, he'd be cursing, oh, I wanted a toe. But the gap under 2 seconds now. And Mr. T is in. And we are in the perfect position to see how much behind these guys Mr. T will come out the pits.
Lap 17, that's probably going to be a 3-stop unless he can get the mediums to go even further in the next stint.
1:58.6 last time round from Jaeger. And that gap crept to just over 2 seconds again. And Mr. T are just coming out the pits now. As we see second place just behind Rizlan, who we haven't mentioned for a while.
Just trucking round, nice and steady.
the gap under 2 seconds between Jaeger and Top Gear again. Drawing him meanwhile 47 seconds up the road, but he hasn't stopped yet, and then medium's looking pretty bad. But he's still lapping really consistently, even with that tyre wear, still consistently in the 2 minutes. He's probably lost half a second across the whole stint, which is really good for that tyre wear. But with the gap in front, 56 seconds between himself and Rizlan, and Speedy now with 12.5 seconds. Speedy looking comfortable.
Yeah, he's doing a great job so far.
We'll jump straight back to 4 and 5, I think, where the action is at. And let's have a look at the gap for Mr. T. Any change? Said 13.5 by the time he's up to pace.
Doesn't look like there's been much difference this lap so far. I've been following Mr. T this lap, and it's been staying about 13.3 throughout.
But Jaeger,
they've got a very similar pace.
Jaeger 5 tenths behind Top Gear now.
Yeah.
Is he going to get a good exit out of final curve? Yep, that gap coming down.
Jaeger's now going to struggle through sector 1. Dirty air. This is all about downforce around here.
Absolutely, through the snake. If you haven't got the downforce, that change direction, making it almost impossible through the final bit.
Yeah,
and then through Degnap.
Tyres are going to be squealing for this.
That was one thing I did notice when we were on board with Kings, how little tyre squeal he had through that whole sector.
He's definitely better on tyres than I am.
You could visibly see it, mate, and hear it. Well, yeah, very well managed. Now it will be interesting to see at the hairpin again. Can he close it down anymore? We are still at 7 tenths, keeping it nice and consistent. Is Top Gear, and a lovely line there by Top Gear, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a great exit there.
But then the talk of the AMG and the draft.
Yeah, and that has serious traction out the corners. Very good torque.
I've always been a fan of the AMG in this game. It has had moments when it has understeered a little bit, but a great all-round car, I think. Except when you've been driving something else and then you get it into it and forget to change up gear, because it still sounds like you're at about 4,000 revs. Now this is going to be a good battle, I think, between 4th and 5th. It is very well matched. But Jaeger seeming to have the lap time overall, but we'll soon see as Top Gear across the line does a 1:58.6. And Jaeger a 1:58.7, so they couldn't get much better match than that.
I think this is the same situation that Kings and myself were in that last stint, where it just could not get past until Kings had an issue. So I think this will be status quo unless Jaeger can find somewhere that he can stick his nose up the inside.
Yes, or just try and put a bit of pressure on and hope for a mistake.
I've just seen Mr. T drifting round turn 1.
That'll help with your tyres.
He's not managed to make any dent into that time yet.
And he has dropped onto the softs as well, which I'm...
Yeah.
He has done the fastest lap of his race last time round with the 1:59.3. But you got the guys in front of him doing 1:58 on medium. Oh no, they are on softs, both of them, aren't they? So Mr. T's pace not far off it, but not enough of an improvement at the moment. He's just behind Johnny Waffle now. Johnny Waffle getting out of the way. Really nicely done, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny's a very fair racer. He's a good lad.
Yes, I've watched him quite a few times. Give him plenty of airtime as well. Always seems to be in his own race kind of thing. Hey, good afternoon, Mario. Nice to see you on the stream, buddy. And Randy Moore. Who else haven't I said hello to? The Mew. And Average Driver. How are you all, guys? I think I was about to average driver in the first stint.
Yeah, big shame that Welshie, your team were doing really well up until that point. So it's a big shame about your steering wheel.
Absolutely. Right, where are we? So half a second still between 4 and 5. And this battle far from over. It's great to have something to focus on though. These guys are giving us some great entertainment here. And while we have got some great entertainment, I am quickly going to drop to the little boys' room. I'll be straight back.
So we've got JP with the two guys fighting at the moment, Jaeger and Top Gear. Is this going to cause a difference here? Is JP going to be the let them go? Looks like he's going to make them wait until after Degner's. Top Gear pretty much pushing him out of the way there. Does that give Jaeger the opportunity to go for the move? Jaeger's having a look. Can he get on the inside at Spoon? No, he decides better of it. Incredibile and MJ Walters at it as well, just half a second between them, going through the S's in sector 1. But they do have someone, they do have Geronimo right behind them, coming to lap them. Incredibile and much fresher, soft as well. Has finally pitted, gone on to a new set of mediums. Geronimo's come down to 23 seconds. Looks like Geronimo's going to be in any minute now. His mediums are very much done and doesn't have much fuel left either. Jaeger's starting to struggle with tyres, being tucked up behind Top Gear, is starting to beat his tyres up now. It's a shame about that because he's been driving really well so far. Mr. T is now eating into them. He's 58.5 last lap and he's brought the gap down to 11.7. As I said, here comes Geronimo in at the pits. It's a great stint by him. Oh, Jaeger's no! That's
Oh, our
shame by
entertainment,
Jaeger.
no! As he's just set the
no.
fastest lap as well previous time. Oh no, it wasn't, it was lap 15 he set the fastest. Oh, Jaeger.
That's a big shame by Jaeger, he was driving so well.
A case of the dirty air, again I would have said. Well, this puts Mr. T up to 5th now, 12 seconds behind Top Gear. He has started to make a little bit of inroads into them too. Or he had. But Jaeger has still got a minute between himself and Gemini to recompose, and only 8.7 seconds back, so it's not all over for 5th.
That's a big shame by Jaeger because he was giving Top Gear a real run for his money there. He just ran wide, just caught the AstroTurf, and that's all it takes. 130R and away he went. It's a big shame.
Top Gear only 3 seconds behind Geronimo. Geronimo has just pitted.
He has just pitted, yeah.
Top Gear not needed to go in for a while. So we could end up with a little battle here. Let's hope so, as we have lost our other battle.
Geronimo on fresh soft, so we'll see if he can pull that gap now that he's got some fresh tyres on.
And the Jag seeming a pretty consistent beast in GT7.
Yeah, it's got great torque and great top end as well. Very good car, that.
I do get sick of the sight of them though. Unfortunately working for JLR, I pretty much work on F-types mainly. But even seeing them every day, you can still appreciate their beauty.
They are a good looking car. We've got Incredible and MJ Walter. It looks like they've swapped places recently. I think just the extra grip and the soft from Incredible just making a hell of a difference.
Kicking up a lot of dirt there into Walter's face was Incredible.
Good to see new teams getting involved as well.
An interesting choice of car, that Z4.
Great sounding car though.
Yes, I've already mentioned it, as you probably know. I do love the sound of it. It does sound permanently in the tunnel, which is the best time to ever hear a car. But we've got a nice little battle starting to build here between Incredible, Walter and Gemini. Gemini should be on fresher tyres, shouldn't he? Yeah, he's on lovely fresh softs.
Brand new softs, yeah. Can you make the most of them?
Will there be any team orders between the junior and senior team? Will be interesting to see as the gap comes down. I'm pretty sure they won't fight too hard.
Doesn't make sense to. I mean, at the end of the day, Gemini's on brand new softs. Just wasting each other's tyres at that point.
And Walter on pretty warm mediums now. They're showing good pace at the start of the stint though, Walter. And that is a well-earned 8th position at the moment. Incredible, we can see he is really pushing that Z4. Amazing how big them wheels look on the Z4. It makes the car look tiny.
It does, yeah.
Well, he seems to be opening that gap up at the moment. As Gemini does make a move around Walter. Walter letting him through, I think, then.
It's a smart move there.
And let's hope he can get a little bit of a tow for a couple of corners. Possibly drag him back up to Incredible. No, it looks like Walter has too much pace instantly. Oh, sorry, Gemini has too much pace instantly, and he is on purple sectors. So will we see a new fastest lap this lap? And I do like that livery as well of the Gemini, the GRT team.
Proper classic, that is HKS.
Lost a little bit, but still over a 10th up on the fastest lap at the moment. As you can hear, Incredible torturing that car in front.
Looks like Geronimo's finally up to pace and he started pulling the gap on Top Gear. Top Gear's not got much tyres left, maybe 40%.
Just going to stay with Gemini for the end of this lap round Spoon and see if he does set the fastest, or whether we've jinxed him for the most of the lap.
So he comes out on fresh softs and about 2/4 of the tank.
Apparently there was a slow driver change for the Italians, which cost them a place because they're not on chat together. So if they're watching it via the stream, that would have been at least a 7-second delay, as Gemini does go fastest with the 1:58.1.
It's a good time that.
Not bad for around half a tank of fuel.
Gap at the front, Speedy to Rizlan, pretty much stabilised at 10 seconds now. Doesn't look like it's changing much now.
No, Rizlan took a couple of seconds out of Speedy then, and during the pit stop I would have said, because Speedy seems well up to speed on their mediums. 59.2, 59.7, 59.5. Nice and consistent there.
Very consistent there from Speedy. Great work, mate.
And Geronimo 58.4 last time round on the softs. So as Nick's already mentioned, Geronimo getting up to speed. Had some great battles with Geronimo in the past at GTSV.
Previous winners at Bathurst did a great result there.
Yes, not quite so lucky last time out. But still, normally there and thereabouts, the GTSV guys. They've got a big selection of drivers to choose from, and Randy Moore being one of the quicker ones. Geronimo, definitely a pro, but they do have a lot quicker. Why they're not involved in this, I'm not sure. I can ask the question.
The more the merrier. Mr. T is slowly inching away towards top gear. He's brought it down to 8.7 seconds. He's putting in a shift here. 59.4 for the last lap.
But again, up to his usual tricks there, Mr. T, looking at that tyre wear. He has got a nice 44 seconds between himself and Jaeger now. Jaeger not long stopped for tyres, and did he go onto the softs this time? Yes, he did.
Yep, new set of softs. He should be rapido for the next 5-6 laps.
Mr. T probably out for another 3 laps at most. So we'll be interested at that pit stop.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. Probably maybe 5-6 seconds between them, so then it'll be a case to see if Jaeger can pull in on him.
Geronimo set his quickest lap last time round with a 158.2. Not quite matching Gemini, but he's slowly bringing the gap down in front of him. But with 51 seconds, it's a very, very, very big ask. You are going to need an instant or two in front, but with an hour plus to go.
We've got Incredibile and Gemini at it right now, coming through Spoon. Oh, as Incredibile runs a little bit wide, can Gemini stick it? No, just couldn't quite get up the inside there.
But Incredibile a little bit loose on exit there.
Well, looks like Gemini's going to get him up the inside here, going down to 130. And he's
yeah, well before the 130 gets the move done. The straight line speed of that GTR, something special. If you get the exit.
Just got to watch out the second gear in that thing, because it will light the tyres up.
Yes, we did witness it on board a couple of times with yourself.
Yeah, hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, lock already in place for when you put your foot down. Looks like a car that does take a bit of preempting what it's going to do.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. It's got a lot of mid-range torque that it just kicks the rear end out, and you just got to be ready for it.
But I found a lot of the guys that are driving that car do seem to have got a handle on it, and they're making it look easy. Yeah, I know it's not.
I've done a bit of practice car sort.
Well, he has picked up half a second penalty. Is that going to allow Incredible back past? Oh, no, because he's just managed to eke open a 1.3 second gap over Incredible through that section. So yes, Gemini definitely doing enough there. And Gemini's tyres last him pretty well. Now he should be able to go for a fairly long stint on these softs.
Yeah, he's doing a solid job so far.
32 seconds behind Jaeger now. That was more, so he's took a little bit of time out of Jaeger. Jaeger 1:59 last time round, but he should be back in the 58s now. Yeah, 58.5. Mr. T gap down to 7 seconds to Top Gear in front. But Mr. T's tyres gone.
Yeah, they're almost, they're fried, they are. But great stint so far by Mr. T.
Absolutely,
Very
with just
consistent.
a Rizzler paper left on the right hand side. He could probably squeeze another lap out of him, but it would be, I wouldn't risk it round Suzuka.
No, it's not worth it now.
Too much leaning on the corners round here. He just nearly run a little bit wide through Spoon there. But the gap's still coming down. 6.5 seconds now. Top Gear really struggling. And flashing on fuel.
Yeah, he'll be in this lap, I would have thought. I'd be amazed if he could make it another lap.
Yes, I don't think that fuel would last all that right front. I thought he was going round then. Oh, he has.
He's hit the barrier.
Has it kicked him back on track?
It will
He's
have, yeah.
having to go back. Will it let him in?
Oh, no.
Yes, it has let him in.
Let him in.
Oh,
lucky boy.
If that was
He does have a
GT
lot
Sport,
of damage.
he would not have been allowed to enter the pit. But that's full engine damage, aero and suspension. That's going to be at least an extra 6-7 seconds. And Mr. T has stayed out.
Probably saw him stuck in the pit lane and thought, no.
Yeah, quite possibly. That would have been a rapid decision, wouldn't it? I'm going in. No, fucking no. Oh, sorry, language. I've done it again.
Jesus Christ.
So Top Gear out of the pits, and he has come out right with Jaeger. That's what we want to see. 1.7 seconds.
Roles reversed here. Can we see Top Gear chase down Jaeger and go for the battle?
Right, fingers crossed with them nice new shiny softs. He should be able to. And Jaeger's tyres still looking pretty damn good. And a 1:57.9 last time round for Jaeger. He means business.
Yeah, he's put his foot down now. See if he can close in on Mr. T. 39 seconds though.
But the gap coming down pretty quick. I mean, that's another 10th just while I've been saying that sentence.
Yeah, with Mr. T, he's got no front tyres left. He's really struggling.
Oh, both sides.
He's really struggling here.
Yeah, and that is one thing that is slightly better about GT7 is the grip when you don't have any tyres. You can actually get to the pits. GT Sport, that would be near enough an impossibility.
Exactly, yeah.
And he has to come in this time, surely. There's nobody blocking his pit entry. And he doesn't hit the wall. Well done, Mr. T.
Well done, mate.
23 seconds between himself and Geronimo at the time of pitting.
Geronimo's took 10 seconds out of Ruslan over the last 5 to 10 laps. So he's slowly trying to bring that gap down, but I just think it's just too far now.
Yeah, it is a big gap, but he's making them softs last very well.
He's doing a very good stint.
Oh, a bit of a moment there.
Oh. Well saved there.
But again, looking pretty nice and safe for a podium as long as he can keep it on the black stuff. Because he has got a minute between himself and Jaeger in 4th now. I'm sure at the start of stint 1, when Yuppie had that moment on lap 1, they didn't think they'd be running in 4th by now. How absolutely amazing recovery drive so far from the Speed Hunters, but he's only 2.4 seconds in front of Mr. T, who is right between himself and Top Gear and Jaeger. We have got the battle we wanted. Excellent.
This is great. Mr. T on fresh softs, Top Gear on fresh softs. Oh no, Mr. T's on mediums. He's obviously going with a three-stop strategy here.
Well, how will he adjust to dropping on the mediums after the stint on softs? Imagine it'd be okay because of how warm they were when he did go in.
Looks like these three are catching Speedy as well, so they might want to try and unlap themselves, but yeah.
How far in front is Speedy? Because we haven't had a look at Speedy for a bit. He's 14.5 seconds now in front of Rislan. Or would you say Rislan?
Just been consistent, them two. Gap was very, very small changes there. Driving very nicely, both of them.
And Geronimo bringing it down ever so slightly every lap at the moment, but yeah, like you say, 46 seconds. That's just jumped from 49 to 46. So did Rislan have a bit of an incident there? Or was I imagining things?
So
yeah.
Unless something's happened on this lap.
I think it happened while I was looking at the gap pretty much, so I think it may have been a little bit of an off there. We'll keep an eye and have a look at this time. It doesn't look that slow.
Yeah, he was only 2/10 off his best at the end of sector 2, so not sure what happened there.
No, so just 45 seconds now nearly. Meanwhile, Mr. T and Top Gear, 4/10 between them. This battle hotting up now.
That compound difference making a hell of a difference now. Mr. T's going to have to work hard to keep Top Gear behind here.
Unfortunately, working hard does also mean tyre wear. But with Jaeger having to pit sooner than these two, he's got a third of a tank of fuel left. As like you said, they are coming right up behind Speedy now. Will Jaeger unlap himself again?
Top Gear tried to go up the inside there at the hairpin, just couldn't quite get there, but he's still right up behind Mr. T.
Mr. T making the back end of that Mercedes as wide as possible right now. As we go through Spoon. And a good exit from the AMG. Got the Supra in the draft.
Great top end, that Supra is still even after a nerf, but it's just not quite enough before 130R.
But managing to keep it on the road in the dirty air. And closing right up in the Casio triangle. Where we did see yourself have a little bit of an incident, Nick.
Yeah.
While challenging for the lead, that was.
Oh yeah, running wide through 130R about a million times, yeah. Yeah, once you're in that dirty air and you're that close, you are guessing where you're turning in as well.
Yeah.
Blind as well, turning in.
It just blocks your view, doesn't it, as well? It's like it's like the chicane, the chicken of death at Dragon's Trail. I hate following through there because you have everything, and then as soon as somebody's in your way, that little line you can't see, and it's just death nearly every time.
It is literally hope for the best as you turn, and hopefully you don't make a mess of it.
Oh, these guys having a great battle here. This is great to watch. Through Degna.
Want to be getting past because this is not going to be doing his tyre wear any good.
How many laps has he been on these tyres now? This will be his third flying lap. Oh, and a little bit wide there out of the hairpin, but keeps the power on nice. Has cost him a tenth or two though.
Mr. T can breathe a sigh of
We
relief.
got yellow flags. Why have we got yellow flags? Somebody is off in Spoon.
It is Raptor Race has binned it on the exit of Spoon.
Oh, well done for keeping it out of the way, Raptor, till everyone's passed.
I think it's deja vu for Jaeger. He's stuck behind Speedy with the faster tyres, and Yeah.
But he is pulling away slightly from Mr. T. He has got 3.5 seconds now.
Yeah.
So the longer he can stay out, the better on these softs. I mean, they are older than everyone else is around him. But if he can go in and get a set of mediums on and get a nice big tank of fuel, this could all work out quite well for Jaeger at the moment. Geronimo in front has pulled away a little bit more with 1.2 seconds he was. And 44 behind Rizlan now. So another couple of seconds, well, just drops into the 45 again, so another second out of that lead. And Speedy 15.8 seconds in front of Rizlan. So superb job from Speedy.
Nice and consistent, doing a great job there, just keeping Rizlan at bay.
And staying out of trouble.
That's all that matters around here. Trying to keep on black stuff.
Top Gear still 6/10 behind Mr. T. He just cannot capitalise on them soft tyres at the moment.
He's going to be shouting at his steering wheel, come on!
Get out the way! Can he get a better exit from the hairpin? Yes, he does. This will be interesting on the entrance to Spoon, but that mid-range torque there of the AMG just pulling the gap out again.
Trying to overtake an AMG is very difficult round here.
Yes, they have got a big fat ass.
But they do. A great big torque. Johnny Waffle has caught to JP, so it's the battle of the Mercs.
Oh, very nice.
Just 2 tenths between them coming into Spoon. Johnny Waffle get a good run out the second part of Spoon, line him up for 130R.
And he does get the tighter line. Does he get on the power any earlier?
JP covering the inside there.
I'll have to try and follow through 130R and possibly get the inside line for the Casio Triangle, but I think they'll both be travelling too quick here. I think he lifts a little bit, quite a bit there, did Johnny Waffle. Playing it safe.
Yeah, playing it smart. So now he's got a good run out of the chicane. Can he stick out the inside into turn 1? Going to be close. He decides better of it.
But he does have the tighter line.
JP is on worn mediums, Johnny on fresh softs, so Johnny's going to want to get past sooner rather than later and make the most of those fresh softs.
And with the gap in front being nearly 57 seconds, this is probably the only battle Johnny's going to be having for a good while.
Yeah, it's a shame for him, but he's having fun, no doubt.
Exactly, he'll be grinning from ear to ear right now.
What's happened to Top Gear? He's fell 3.5 seconds away from Mr. T.
Ooh, what's happened there then?
Yeah, it was a 2-minute 2.6 last lap, so it looks like he had a mistake.
Bit of a moment was that in the dirty air. It stands a very good chance.
He's kicking himself.
But it is only a couple of seconds. I'm sure he can make it back. More of them softs are still good.
And Jaeger's still tucked up behind Speedy. He's going to be like, oh god, not again.
But the time that Geronimo had pulled away from him when he did get up to 1 minute and 2 seconds has disappeared, so they are starting to make inroads into third place again. And the gap between second and third now down to 44 seconds, so another couple of laps and another second.
Even though Mr. T is on the mediums, he's doing a great job here. He's keeping pace with Jaeger.
Well, his pace not that much different to his pace on softs. He's running
That's
mid
very,
159s.
Very good pace on the mediums there.
Yeah, we'd be pretty happy with that, I think, Mr. T. Especially if you can get involved with the battle for fourth place, which they are there and thereabouts already. Oh, a little bit of a moment there, nearly on 2 wheels for Mr. T.
Well saved there, mate.
I'd have saved 2 tyres for half a corner though, wouldn't it?
Can't wear if they're in the air.
We have had Sota also come out Mr. T tyres and saying it's every race. Well, yeah, it is becoming a little bit of a theme here. And the more we get to know people, the more there will be things that we can talk about them.
Exactly. He is bringing that gap down to Jaeger. It's down at 2.5 now.
Geronimo in the pits already. Them softs looking pretty good. Will he come out on the mediums this time? It looks like he's banging a lot more fuel in, so no, I think that's softs again. Yep. But he has got the gap behind him, so why not for the extra stop?
Exactly, yeah. Nice solid stint there by Geronimo.
Yes, good job there, buddy. And Jaeger's still stuck behind Speedy.
Gap increased to Rizlan just up to 18 seconds now. Just slowly pulling away.
Rizlan doing a lonely job there, but a very good job. Unfortunately, we are missing Welshie. If you missed that at the beginning of the stint, he did have technical issues. It looked like he had no throttle. Well, he did and then didn't and then did and then didn't again, so we cannot confirm or deny that, but we're pretty sure it was hardware related.
Looks like Johnny Waffle has had an off because he's fell 5.5 seconds away from JP, and as he just run wide at the Casio triangle.
Oh, yes, we're just on board. Well, not on board, but did just get that in view, and a 2:09 last time round from Johnny Waffle, so yes. Again, we will expect it to be a casualty of the dirtier, because he was following JP pretty close at the time.
Was, yeah. 2 GRT teams running in complete clean air, just lapping away, nice and consistent.
And the same as the DCT team, the Italians. 18 seconds between themselves and Walter in front, and 1 minute and 2 seconds behind to JP. So things opening up again now. 3.5 seconds between Top Gear and Mr. T, who is closing Jaeger down to 1.8 seconds now. But Jaeger will be in the pit soon. He is flashing on fuel.
He is, yeah.
But we can visibly see that gap coming down now. 1.5 seconds. It's working out well for Mr. T. Much better strategy here.
Definitely. Jaeger's going to be having nightmares tonight of that back at the end of that GTR. Oh, why is it always on my way?
He'll close his eyes and see fried eggs.
That'd be unexpected.
Excellent.
Excellent.
As we see Jaeger go into the pits as predicted. Top Gear making an impression of 159.9 last time round from Top Gear, and a 1. Oh, Mr. T's off.
Looks like he ran wide at turn 1.
Casualty of first corner again.
He's going to have dirty tyres for the next few corners as well.
Not where you want them in the snake.
To come and pull in on him.
Definitely not where you want dirty tyres. That after all that work, Mr. T's probably just lost himself about 2 seconds. That corner seemed to be catching more people out than any other corner on the track so far today. But it is so easy to go in there hot because it's a fast entry to that corner, and then you drop down during the corner. And yeah, it's so easy to go in that little bit hot and not change down quite quick enough, or not be able to. I don't know, how does a pro driver take that corner, Nick?
Turn 1.
Do you go into it, do you drop one gear down, turn in, and then drop another couple before the second part of it?
Yeah, so for me personally, I let off the throttle. It's only a small gap, and then onto the brakes and just trail brake all the way round. Just going down the gears nice and gentle. No need to bang down the gears. Just end up causing you to run wide. The more you brake, the more the car wants to straighten up. So you need to be trail braking nicely round consistently, and it'll just help bring it round nicely. There were quite a few occasions where I nearly got it wrong and ended up at the other side of the AstroTurf, but got away with it.
Yes,
Tricky corner.
we could see how close your tyres were to the edge of that curb on a few occasions.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Top Gear, that gap down to 2.2 seconds after Mr. T's little moment. Top Gear will sense that and be pushing on hard now. Yeah, and as much as people do slag off the new Supra and say it's a BMW, one, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and it is a gorgeous looking car.
It is a good looking car, yeah. Don't see many on the road though, sadly.
No, unfortunately not. And when you do see them, they do stand out and get your attention, so...
They do.
Oh, I think that is the only closest battle we do have on track again at the moment still. Mr. T, you are the, you're getting all the airtime today. Oh, Kieran said a lovely yellow Supra the other day. There is a yellow one at the dealership at the back of my work at the moment, and it does look very nice. I've also seen a real nice one in like a French racing blue, which did look stunning.
But it's a Z4.
I don't like the look of the Z4 particularly though. I
It's a funny thing, isn't it?
It's not as bad as the new 4 series, sorry, but yeah, it is odd.
Arden Blue saying Supra is gorgeous. I deserve a dislike and an unsub for that remark.
No, I do get everyone's problems with the Supra. I mean, the Supra was a supercar, wasn't it? In drag, kind of. It's a Japanese car that can do anything, and now it's kind of, yeah, it's middle of the roady, power-wise and everything. Nothing particularly special about it anymore. But I'm just saying it kind of still looks quite good. Meanwhile, we'll concentrate on the AMG so we don't upset people who don't like Supras. Which has Mr. T pulling away again slightly from Top Gear, the gap back to nearly 3 seconds. Jaeger in the meantime, what's he doing with his lap times? He's doing a 2:16.
He is closing the gap on Top Gear. It was 25 seconds just over a lap and a half ago, so he is pulling the gap down.
1:58 last time round, so yep, and he has gone on the softs again.
Top Gear's only got maybe 1 or 2 laps left and he'll be in, so he'll pull back behind Jaeger there.
Yeah, Mr. T being a little bit more careful on the mediums this time round. They do seem to be lasting slightly better.
Yeah, he's doing a good job so far.
And now he's caught up behind Speedy. Not very often you can say that the person leading you by 2 minutes and 2 seconds is holding you up.
Doesn't happen very often.
And Speedy won't care. That's something we can confirm.
Saying that Speedy will be in at the end of this lap. He's his front right is absolutely done. As he nearly runs wide there with Spoon.
But nearly 22 seconds gap between himself and Rizlan. Even if he puts some mediums and a good load of fuel, he'll come out behind, but not by much. And Rizlan is going to have to pit at a very similar time. Both fronts looking gone. And a 2:02 last time round for Rizlan.
Mr. T giving Speedy a bit of a bump.
Mr. T on lapping himself
Marches his way past.
through Casio Triangle, yeah. But better that than being stuck on the inside when somebody's trying to get into the pits on the outside of you.
Exactly. Speedy comes into the pits. 2%
And
left.
I think Rizlan will follow. We will stick with him to see. And it changed for you, so I couldn't tell. Yes, he has gone into the pits.
There he goes, in.
So these guys mirroring each other as well, and Top Gear in also.
Top Gear in, yeah. Still see Jaeger has already overtaken him. Gap to Mr. T, 23 seconds, so that's stabilised over the last lap. Expecting Jaeger to pick up the pace over the next lap or two, being on fresh softs.
And to already be past Top Gear, that last stint has worked out really well for Jaeger. Because as we know, he did drop back after that spin. But he's managed to, say, repass and put 9 seconds between himself and Top Gear. So again, good recovery driving from the Speed Hunter team. Can we see them make any inroads into Mr. T and Race Asylum?
Gap between JP and Johnny Waffle back down at 2.4. So Johnny's still got the pace, but he's just needs to keep on the road. So Speedy and someone else in between them.
Yes, it is Raptor Racing. He's in between these guys in the vet. I know it may not be fully competitive this race due to issues in the first hit, but it's still good to see the Corvette out there.
Bit of a false start for this first stint. It's a bit of a shame. Lag in the first stint, and then yeah, just post twice, sadly, trying to get Speed Hunter in, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it.
Yes, unfortunately, some of these technical issues cannot be helped.
This game has still got a long way to go before it's fully user-friendly, shall we say.
They are doing, I would say, their best, but they're doing things, Polyphony, and they are slowly putting it right, and I'm sure by the time Gran Turismo 8 comes out, GT7 will be perfect.
And then we'll start the whole cycle again.
Absolutely. That gap now down to under 2 seconds between Johnny Waffle and JP. But still with Speedy between them. And the best thing Johnny can do now is try and get as close to Speedy as possible and try and follow him through when he laps JP again, but I don't think he's going to be quite close enough, quick enough. But he is coming in pretty quick, is Johnny?
He is, yeah. He's absolutely rapido at the moment. Speedy wanting to pass JP though. JP will be in the next lap or two.
That's a shame, because I was quite looking forward to this little battle again. I don't think... Oh, Johnny's got to pit soon too, though, so we should be able to catch back up with this very soon. And is Johnny going to follow him through? No, not close enough. But yes, we have a battle, boys and girls.
Both flashing red on fuel, so they'll both be in very shortly soon. I think that battle will continue after the pit stop.
Let's hope so. Let's hope they pick for a similar strategy and a similar fuel load.
Oh, JP runs wide and Johnny Waffle.
Very wide.
Spoon taking another prisoner there.
Now, was that a bit of pressure, or was it just too busy looking in his mirrors? Did he think he was being lapped again, maybe? I don't know. But Johnny Waffle will take it with both hands. And let's see if he picks this lap. He could possibly get another lap, Johnny Waffle. And JP, I think, with that fuel would struggle. And he has gone for another lap, Johnny. And JP goes in. Gemini we have in the pits as well. Not sure why. His tyres are good, he's still got a fair bit of fuel.
No damage either.
Whether he just liked the gaps at the moment, perhaps thought it'd be a good time to make some inroads into top gear with 22 seconds between them.
Probably soft mediums to the end now, I would have thought.
Oh, I didn't realise we were that far into the race already. 43 laps gone.
Yeah. Piling through. Taking on a lot of fuel as well.
And there we have the mediums at 98%. So that should be to the end quite easily now for Gemini. gear has gone for another set of softs.
So he's got another pit stop to do it. Yeah, then.
Definitely.
Think he'll be able to get that. I don't think he'll be able to do 20 laps on 50% fuel. So.
Yeah, so himself and Jaeger will be in for at least one more stop, and the same with Mr. T, who's now got 15 seconds between himself and Jaeger, so after the pit stop he will be behind, but by how much remains to be seen. But Geronimo in front, 47 seconds, so he's quite comfortable now.
Lining up to be a very interesting end, because you know Jaeger's catching Mr. T here, and Jaeger's got another pit stop to go. Be interesting to see what tyre Mr. T comes out on. We could see him get back for the last 5 laps.
I'm also wondering about Rislan's fuel. Is that going to be enough to get to the end? It's going to be close, that is.
He's a lot less fuel, isn't he? Yeah, that's a very good point. The Porsche is good on fuel, but that good, I'm not sure. He's short shifting though, to be fair, so...
Yes, he is. So he's aware. Which seems strange when you've got like a 15-second gap in front of you nearly. You're not going to make up 15 seconds by not putting enough fuel in.
Exactly.
If it was 1 or 2 seconds, yeah, I can understand why people do that. They can possibly sit in the draft then and save a bit of fuel and what have you. But now this is going to cost him with only 18.5 seconds between himself and Geronimo, and the chances are he is going to have to pit again. I mean, Geronimo will, but only the once. But he can use as much fuel and tyre as he wants. So,
Yeah, that could happen.
I doubt it. I think the gap is a little too large, but you never know.
Depends on what Rislan does. I think he will be going to the end, so I don't think this will be a battle, but you never know. Things can happen.
Yes, it only takes running out of fuel on the last lap. We've all done it.
Johnny Waffle has pitted and he's come out 7.6 seconds ahead of JP, so either JP's... it looks like Johnny Waffle's taken on less fuel, so he's been able to jump him in the pits.
Yes, because it was only 2 seconds. Johnny Waffle should have enough fuel there. It will be a little close, but
we see Nuke Shot Zokio coming in the pits, probably for his last stop.
he has had made a little bit of inroads to JP, but now with the stop that'll be reversed. We'll have a little look at the McLaren for a bit, just because it's a McLaren and they're lovely.
Yeah, it's a good looking car.
And a nice livery that from the Nuke Shop boys. But yeah, Zukayo not having his best race. We're thinking maybe this car not suited for this track. You would have thought some parts of it would have really suited, like the Snake, with the change of direction and the mid-engine and...
Other than turn 1, I would have thought the rest of Sector 1 the McLaren would be very, very good at. But yeah, that turn 1 is probably costing them a lot of time, just trying to get through there nice and safe. Yeah.
Hold your breath every time you go through it.
A little bit, yeah.
Right, the gap between JP and Johnny Waffle, 8.6 seconds now.
Yeah, looks like the whole field is spread out a little bit. I think MJ Walter and Gemini is our closest battle at 5.3 seconds.
But it can't be helped. And we'll just make the most of what we have around us. And say it only takes one curb. One tyre off the curb, one tyre on the grass, and that can all change and we can have several battles all at once. But 4th, 5th and 6th I think are where the interesting battles will end up being, because Mr. T will be pitting soon.
Mr. T will be in the next couple couple of laps, I would have thought, so it'll be interesting to see where he falls into this. Especially when you got Jaeger and Top Gear needing to pit again.
Do you think he'll just put mediums on? I don't think I think some could possibly make softs go this far now. I don't think Mr. T could. So I think a set of mediums and 2/3 of a tank of fuel should do it.
Yeah, I think Mr. T would have to go at lap 49, 12 laps to go. He might be able to get some softs to last that long, but it's going to be tight. So he'll need to do another 3 laps at least.
I think he will.
See if the tyre shredder can do it.
I think he'll either come in at the end of this lap or he will go for, like you say, the end of lap 49.
Saying that his pace on mediums was very solid. You know, he was keeping Jaeger honest, and Jaeger was on softs.
But that gap coming down between himself and Jaeger now, it's down to 9.7 seconds. Jaeger running in the low 59s, whereas Mr. T in the 201s at the minute.
Yeah, Jaeger will be kicking himself after his spin. He was doing a really good job up to that point. Now he's on full attack mode, trying to catch Mr. T again.
But still very much in this battle for 4th place. The wooden spoon, as it's known.
Let's not discount Top Gear. They're still hanging in there.
Exactly.
Be there at the end. This could be a juicy end.
And Top Gear is the one that seems to have an actual strategy at the minute. His tyres and everything looking as you would want to last till about lap 50-51. So then he can just splash and dash at the end, set of softs, half a tank of fuel, and smash it.
This is looking juicy for the end.
And that gap coming down quite quickly.
Yeah.
Between 5th and 6th.
Mr. T with a 2:02 last lap, so pretty slow. Jaeger with a 2-minute 0.2, so yeah, he's catching him pretty quick at the moment.
And that's for Jaeger dropping some time himself there, but the gap behind him, Top Gear, doing a 1:59.2. So another second. Second out of Jaeger and 3 seconds nearly out of Mr. T.
Closing up nicely.
Just what we want to see to give us some talking points towards the end of this 4-hour race. Gemini and Walter still 5 seconds between them. Walter brought it down a little bit. It's right on the cusp of 5 seconds now.
TLR Speedy still 16 seconds ahead of Rizlan. Both of them just lapping away. Looking forward to getting to the end now. 13 laps to go.
And Rizlan does seem to have backed off the pace a bit and staying in the 2-minute mark just to save that little bit of fuel and get himself comfortably to the end.
P2 will be a great result.
I mean, the gap 20 seconds between himself and Geronimo. Geronimo will definitely have to pit in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, that gap will go back to about a minute, I would have thought.
But still a very good race so far from Geronimo. And after Randy Moore's 2 spins in the first stint, they'll be absolutely ecstatic to be on the podium, I would imagine. If they could keep it there.
That stint one. It'll be interesting to see what actually happened.
Oh, Randy definitely had 2 moments that looked like they were on his own. The one possibly did involve lag, but not what we saw on our screen. It was just, yeah, a little bit weird at the very beginning of the race. The lag did seem to settle down though, so what was so crap about the servers late morning, early afternoon, I don't know. But they seem pretty good now. No spikes since.
Yeah, annoying, but it's just the situation that we've got at the moment. So hopefully they'll get around to actually fixing it properly and get to the sort of levels that we've got with the daily racers.
Fingers crossed. 4, 5 and 6 now, these gaps really starting to close up. 6.2 seconds between Mr. T and Jaeger, and 9.4.
Yeah, and Top Gear catching both of them, going gangbusters at the moment.
3 seconds a lap quicker than Mr. T at the moment.
Looks like Mr. T will be in at the end of this lap.
I'd hope so, or if he does that to another tyre, then he's got enough Rizzlers to skin up with.
He definitely knows how to use those tyres up. That's for sure.
And he's staying out, isn't it?
No, he's coming in.
He is going in. I've got the wrong view for that.
At least he hasn't done a top gear. Yeah, you go low on fuel. He's flashing red, so he'll be in the next lap or so. Another good stint. Looks like he's lost a little bit of pace over the last few laps. Dropped in it with 2 minutes. Still very consistent.
But this will have in top gear to close that gap slightly. It's under 10 seconds now. It was nearly 11. What you're looking at about 6-7 tenths a lap. Top gear seems to be taking out of Jaeger at the moment. While they have clean air.
That gap in the last 12 laps to make it a three-way battle for that 4th spot.
Right, Mr. T has come out prime placed here, 16.8 seconds behind, and he has jumped onto the softs. He's done exactly as Nick predicted, pitted on lap 49. Well, actually, it's the end of 48, wasn't it? So it's going to be quite a long stint on softs.
He's going to have to be nice to those tyres if he wants to get to the end without them being completely red. That last lap, it might be a bit of a problem for him.
Best thing to do is try and take it easy now. I always find that outlap makes the most tyre saving you can possibly do, and one is on the outlap because you can easily kill your tyres when they're a little bit cold.
Yes, definitely.
And there we see Speedy in the foreground there. Geronimo in P3 as well.
Gotta give it to Speedy. He's not made a single mistake all race so far. He's just been lapping away, keeping Rizlan on bay, doing a good job there.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have a quick look at him because he hasn't had that much airtime, unfortunately, Speedy, but that's what you get for staying out of trouble and having near enough a perfect race.
Yeah, he's done a really good job so far.
Yes, we'll give you another excellent there, sir. Well, Rizlan has closed that gap down. It was 20 seconds at one point. It is down to 16.1.
Gap has been staying about 16 seconds since the pit stop, so I think they're just very similar paced here. And yeah, 11 laps to go.
But Rizlan has balanced that fuel advantage out a little bit. He has been saving a bit, so will he push on now and try and close the gap possibly? I don't know. I think it will be too much too late, especially with the mediums practically a third gone. But with
a slightly better job on tyre wear as well, so
yeah, I'm not sure if it's my imagination on this in this game as well, but if you are saving fuel and you start coasting through corners, your tyre wear goes up because the load seems to be on the tyres constantly because you're not using your power to push you through the corner, if you know what I mean.
It shouldn't, because if you're coasting, you're already slowing down as you're coming into the corner, so you're using less energy. You put less energy in the tyres as you turn in. So if anything, you should be doing a better job of it. But
yeah, I would have thought so too.
I think the Porsche is quite heavy on tyre wear in general.
It definitely can be, because obviously it has that initial traction, doesn't it? So that's always going to... Any way you get a benefit of traction, you're going to lose some tyre wear. Effectively. Right, Top Gear at the moment has still got a pit. He's not going to be in this lap. I wouldn't have thought he'd stay out for one more. So then he can really push on the last stint on the softs.
Another 2 laps yet. He's got plenty of fuel yet.
But would you want to stay out for 2 laps when you could easily finish and push a little bit harder and possibly make time? I don't know. I'm not sure how much that would cost overall and what would be the benefit.
And he's in. He's coming in. Here he comes.
Perhaps he's listening to the stream and listening to our advice.
Listening to you, PB. Now we'll see how far away from Mr. T and Jaeger he is, and see if he can close that gap down even further.
Well, the gap between Mr. T and Jaeger now down to 7.5 seconds.
Mr. T tucked up behind Speedy at the moment, though. Seems like a lot of AMGs stuck behind Speedy in this second stint.
What again? Yeah, it's been an AMG either way, hasn't it, in its mirrors? For Speedy.
Yeah.
So there's a nice conversation about vehicles going on the chat. I'd love to join in, but I'd have to spend half my time reading it. Someone saying my insurance is less than my road tax. Yes,
Mr. T
I can
just gave...
sympathise with that. Oh, what happened
Mr.
there?
T just given Speedy the shoulder there. That was a little bit risky. But yeah, no harm done. Speedy got away with it. And
no harm, no foul, but it will be under review, Mr. T. There's a report going into the stewards imminently.
Co-founder will be...
Hey, Kings. Absolutely amazing first stint there, mate. Really sorry what happened with Welshie and these technical issues. They say you've done a fantastic job. Was great commentating on your first stint, and congratulations. I'm sorry the second stint didn't go as well as the first, and hope to see you back here for the next round.
Yeah, great driving there, Pedro. Good battling with you as always, mate. Look forward to the next one, as always. That's like the middle stint on soft that just put me out there. I wasn't expecting that, and that's where the gap came down, and then it gave us a good battle for the final stint.
But it was amazing how his softs were lasting nearly as well as your mediums. Until the end, yeah, the
very good at it.
Yeah, the last few laps, the mediums started to last better than the softs, but up until then, his tyres were better than yours. You're like, interesting. So yeah, sorry that it didn't work out, and so really enjoyed streaming that. Yes,
that time I got my own back on him anyway. He's been running away with the lead on a Monday night in MRL, so about time someone put him in his place.
That's something I have been meaning to join at some point, the MRL on Mondays, and have a bit of fun with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the most competitive nights about, I would say. There's a lot of fast drivers about, it's normally 3 to 4 lobbies, so yeah, definitely get involved.
Give MRL a big shout out there. Why not? Meanwhile, the front, 13.9 seconds now between Speedy and Rizlan. But Rizlan there getting passed and unlapped by Top Gear. Hopefully that won't cost him too much time, because nice clean move there by Top Gear to unlap himself.
Yeah, Top Gear will be on the charge right now. He'll be gangbusters with Jaeger and Mr. T. Can he close that gap? 9.9 seconds.
Mr. T 6.7 in front of Jaeger at the moment. The 2-minute .1 last time round, which I'm surprised on the softs. I would have thought he'd be quicker than that. But Jaeger will be able to smell that.
Yeah. Mercedes on Mercedes battle for the P4.
Can the Supra join the party? I think he's just that little bit too far off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Arden Blue asking where was the rain today. Well, it looked like we were going to have some rain in stint 1 before we had to change lobby host again. I would have definitely thrown a spanner in the works, but unfortunately it didn't come into fruition.
And twice during stint 1 it did cloud over, but didn't rain. It kind of looked like it might, but no, not quite. I'm finding that a lot more in these random lobbies. The rain isn't as frequent as it was when the game was first released.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Yeah. Kieran saying I wanted the rain for the chaos, basically. It would have definitely been chaos.
Absolutely. There would have been cars here, there and everywhere. And it would make commentating... Well, commentating's nearly always fun, but it would have made it even more fun.
Yeah. wouldn't know where to look.
Alright, Mr. T finding his pace again now with a 58.7 last time round. What did Jaeger do? 58.9. So Mr. T actually pulling away a tenth that lap. But Top Gear 59.6 last time round. So our hopeful battle that we were expecting to have in the last few laps isn't really panning out like we hoped.
Yeah, it's a shame because like Top Gear had the pace to start with, but that last lap just hopefully you can turn it around and start knocking in some 58s again.
And the Sammy Jaeger, we have seen the 57s from him today. This set of softs, it's not coming together. But we did see that in the first lobby as well. The first stints were the quickest of the three. Or /4, depending on how many stops these guys did.
Yeah.
As you all saw with my co-commentator Nick, his first stint he was doing 57s. It seemed to be off the cuff quite easy. And on his last stint, which you'd expect the same kind of thing, it was 58s and 59s, and so I'm presuming it was a little bit slippier out there. Was that the case, or was it just?
Yeah, I think after the first round of pit stops, I think the track is just evolving and starting to warm up as the time evolution comes along. Midday is generally the most slippiest time, and yeah, there was a definite difference in grip level between your first stint and your second stint and then your third stint. I think that's just how it is. Early morning is probably one of the grippiest times for the track, especially when you've got 15 cars on track as well.
And Pedro did seem to manage that loss of grip really well, until his medium started to die at the end, and then it cost him dearly.
Pedro is definitely one of the best racers I've ever raced with on tyre wear. He's very good at it. Same with Welshie as well. Welsh great. He's very good on tyres, as you were shown on when we raced at Barcelona a couple of weeks ago.
Indeed. And at one point he was last. And didn't he end up third, was it? Well, it was on the podium, wasn't it?
Who was sorry?
Welshie, because he was last, wasn't he, at one point? At Barcelona.
Barcelona, no.
Oh, was that the one prior?
Yes, I believe so. It was Mike, myself, and Welshie for Barcelona. We pulled off the win there.
Indeed.
Just managed to knock every single stint out and not having any errors, and that just kept us out of bay, basically.
Right, so the gap between Jaeger and Mr. T is down to 6.8 seconds now, so Jaeger trying to push.
Yeah,
but he's going to need
9.9 by Mr. T on the last lap there, so 8/10 difference. He's coming for him. But he is tucked up behind Speedy again.
Yeah, Speedy become a little bit of a hindrance for this battle. Does he care? No.
Probably
Does he help?
No.
Would he just let him past? If in Speedy's shoes, I probably would.
I would just let him go. He's got a 15-second gap. There's no point trying to fight someone.
And we can see Speed Hunter has the pace as well, so I'll be using that draft to my advantage. That might gain you half a second for a lap or so. And with the gap 15.5 seconds now, and that's been like that for nearly 2 hours now, guys. So can we just give a big thumbs up to Speedy and Rizlan for such consistent lap times and pace for this whole 2 hour stint.
Adam Blue saying Speedy brought a GTR to an AMG Cup.
It's certainly been that one. Oh, moment for Speedy!
Oh! Yeah, Speedy nearly loses it there. It's
that was a save and a half. That was gone.
Well held there, mate.
That car was gone.
We'll have to check his drawers afterwards because they're probably full of shit right now.
That was the AMG's trying to expel him from the cup. See, another egg pun there. Nobody picked up on that one, did they? Too many Mercs? I'm not sure there is such a thing as too many Mercs, is there?
Merc is a very solid car for endurance racing.
Meanwhile, we haven't looked at the Jag for a bit in third, all on his own, Geronimo. Absolutely fantastic job here. Probably the most consistent. 59, 59, 59, 59, 59. It's just fantastic job. Good racing, buddy. And looking like a solid podium for these guys at GTSV yet again. Mr. T.
Just keeping Jaeger at bay by the looks of things. He's just keeping the gap the same, and I don't think there's enough of a pace difference now that we'll see a battle there, sadly.
But as you mentioned about the tyre wear, look at that left front and look at the time to go. I'm just going to tell my dog to shut up.
Much better tyres. Yeah, that may come into Jaeger's favour there. Mr. T might have just pulled the pin a little bit too early on the last stop there.
Yes, that one lap too early, but if he had stayed out for that lap, it would have cost him more time, so it will be the same situation, but at some point he's going to have to battle with very worn tyres by the look of it. And that gap between Jaeger and Top Gear come down to 8.4 seconds as well, but Jaeger's tyres looking great at the moment. He's looking in a good position, but a 2-minute lap last time for tyres in that condition with that fuel level, I would be expecting to see slightly quicker times.
Time of day maybe just making a difference, or maybe just a slight mistake somewhere.
Yeah, quite possibly. But we can see Top Gear
59.3, so he must have made a mistake somewhere.
59.2 last lap from Top Gear. It's all becoming a little bit too little too late by the look of it.
59.1 by Jaeger there, so he has got the pace. Mr. T with a 2-minute .3, so that gap is coming down very quickly now.
We are under 6 seconds now between 4 and 5.
Can Jaeger make the most of those better tyres and catch Mr. T before the end? This is going to be close.
And Walter and Gemini now 4.1 seconds apart. And Gemini's tyres considerably better, so I expect to see Gemini press on now and possibly catch Walter, so we'll keep our eyes on that as well. For P7 and 8 for the GRT juniors and senior team. Meanwhile, Johnny Waffle now 42 seconds, nearly 43 in front of JP.
Yeah, it's good driving there, Johnny. Great work. Also known as Carbon Waffle.
And last but not least, we have Zakeo in 12th and Raptor Racing 13th, who is spinning round at the moment.
No.
But nice to see the smoke. Nice to see the smoke effects on GT7. If nothing else, so thank you for that, Raptor. And to the front for one of the last times, lap 58 of 61. We see Mr. Speedy, who's probably had the easiest 2-hour endurance race of his life today.
he's absolutely done a great job today. He's kept out of bay. Had one small little hiccup there at Spoon, but otherwise he's driven brilliantly.
Rislan, who will be in a similar situation, he's been driving in his own little space-time continuum in second place.
Yeah, another great display by Rislan. Nice, solid display there.
Yeah, fingers crossed that that driver exchange was just a tyre change thing where he made the time, and that the Sota boys don't get a penalty for anything like that again, because they have driven brilliantly today.
Yeah, they have. That'll be checked, but I'm sure they don't have to check there. I'm sure they've done a right thing.
Absolutely, and if it was, I'm sure it wasn't intentional. So, but yeah, fantastic job there.
Mr. T gap down to 4.2 with Jaeger chasing him hard. Difference of 1.2 seconds last lap, so Jaeger has got the bit between his teeth and he's coming at him hard.
His tyres still looking good as well, and then fuel levels, he's got plenty of fuel for the last few laps. Whose fuel was it? Oh, it was Rizland's, wasn't it? And I think he's just, yeah, he's
underfueled and he's short shifting, so
yeah, he's stopped short shifting now and his fuel looking pretty good. So still a little bit of short shifting, but I think that's just because he's got into the habit of it more than anything.
yeah, definitely.
But the gap between himself and Geronimo has come down to 36 seconds, so Geronimo had made a bit of inroads, obviously too little too late, but still more than happy with the podium.
It's a good 22 seconds in this lobby so far. That's some good going there.
3.7 seconds now between Mr. T and Jaeger.
I think Top Gear has given up. I think he's just not quite got the pace to keep up with Jaeger.
I think he had a bit of a moment on lap 55 as well with the 201.8.
It's a shame that, yeah.
And last lap as well, dropping into the 2 minutes. His tyres still look pretty good, but I just don't think he's willing to push it any harder than he is. And Mr. T really having to push, and them tyres are going to be a bit desperate on that last lap.
They are, yeah. Yeah, you can probably smell the petrol coming out of that Mercedes now.
3.6, that's another 10th gone. And we can see Jaeger in the background there now as we go through the hairpin. Good line there through Spoon by Mr. T, trying to keep it smooth and save as much rubber as possible for the final 2 laps.
Considering he's got Jaeger coming at him pretty hard, he's been driving pretty well so far. Let's see if he can keep up.
I just flicked to Jaeger behind just as the BM come onto the straight there. Oh, it sounds so much better than everything else.
2 laps to go for Mr. T. 3.7 seconds. Can Jaeger, that's a big gap. Can he really close that down? He's going to have to go for it.
Meanwhile, focusing on the leader now as he crosses the line for his penultimate time and starts the final lap.
What a drive by Mr. Speedy himself, my teammate. Great work, mate.
Gives a little flash of the lights as he crossed the start finish there. And here comes Rizland about to do the same, start his final lap. Obviously everybody behind these guys on track at the moment will also be starting their final lap.
Yeah. I'm probably just going to jump across and catch up with Speedy, but it's been great to commentate with you, PB. Catch up with you soon.
Yes, thanks for joining and congratulations, mate, on what should be the race win and your stint win. So, catch you soon.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks again, buddy.
See ya.
So, here we have it, the final lap. We will stay with the leader and we will keep a quick eye on Mr. T because that gap down to 2.9 seconds. And these guys will have a lap to go still after this. With Speedy not managing to lap any higher than 5th. And he actually dropped a few lappies. He dropped to 7th because he did lap up to 5th at one point. But we do have the GRT guys just exchanging place at the last minute. But we are going to flip back to the front because we do not want to miss the winner crossing the line after 4 hours. Flashing on fuel, right hand front almost destroyed. Driven pretty much to perfection for stint 2 by Speedy for the Scotch Egg boys. Brilliant job by Nick and Speedy. Congratulations. In P1 it is Scotch Egg, and in P2 here comes Rizlan. The final time through the Casio triangle for the Sota Sport boys. Congratulations, fellas. P2. Then for the last step on the podium, it's my good friends at GCSV and Geronimo. Congratulations, fellas. But Jaeger has caught and passed Mr. T. What's happened there? I'm sorry we didn't see the GTSV guys cross the line, but we had a battle for fourth, and Jaeger has caught and passed Mr. T in the final lap. Top Gear has already finished in P6. Mr. T with no tyres left to be able to mount a challenge. He literally has no tyres left to mount a challenge. Sorry about others crossing the line and we're not seeing you at the moment, but I'll give a quick flick through before the death. But congratulations, well done Jaeger in fourth place it looks. As we come up to 130R for the last time. Put nearly a second into Mr. T. But that tyre wear really costing Mr. T in that last lap. Would you think he maybe have come in a lap too early? Congratulations, Jaeger in P4 for the Speed Hunters and Mr. T for Race Asylum in P5. Unlucky, mate. Oh, and that was it. Ah, sorry about that. Sorry about all the guys that crossed the line that I didn't get to film crossing the line. I will quickly bring up the results just so we can breathe through everything, because I'm not leaving it like that. How dare I? So, in first, it was CLR Speedy and obviously Nick for the Scotch Egg team. And we have the Sota boys in second with Rizlan, Geronimo in third for GTSV, Jaeger in fourth for Speed Hunters and Mr. T for Race Asylum, Top Gear for Ready to Race Racing team. Then we have GRT Gemini for the GRT team. Then we have GRT MJ Walter for the GRT Juniors in P8. In P9 we have DC team Incredible for the DC team. Then we have Johnny Waffle for the Vought team. Then we have JP for Turn 1 AMG in 11th, and in 12th Suzuka for the Nuke Shot boys. Raptor Racing 13th for the Raptor Race boys, and unfortunately not finishing after an amazing first stint. We have the Welsh Great for the Aston Muff team. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to give the channel a like and a subscribe and a follow and all that jazz. And we'll see you at the next one. With me, Ponyboy, signing out. We'll see you soon.